because after I watch it, I review some topics. So that's it. We starting recording this English meeting again. So first of all, I'd like to say for everyone who are watching us here, welcome to this English speaking session. Today is Monday, or sorry, today is Sunday here in Brazil, and it be honest, it October 1st, 2023. And I hope that this English meeting it will be a very entertainment English speaking session. Guys, to be honest, I don't know exactly how can we start this English meeting. So I brought some topics here to help us to speak. But first of all, let me ask you, Charmy, how have you been?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. And what about
Nice.
you?
I'm a little bit better than yesterday, so that is good. And let me
Yeah, your
ask
voice
you,
is clear now.
yes, thank you. And Rajesh, tell me a little bit about you, man. How have you been? Rajesh, how have you been, Rajesh? Can you hear us? Are you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? I don't know if Rajesh has a problem or if it's a problem, if I have a problem with my own internet here. Is anyone hear me? Is anyone can hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah,
could
we
hear
all
you.
are hearing you.
Okay. Okay. So, guys, let's get started. Without further ado, let's get started with our English speaking topics. And I hope you like it. I don't know if you already studied about
Hey,
it, but
Alex, I'm extremely sorry for that. Emergency call in my phone. That's why I can't answer your calling.
no
I'm extremely
problem.
sorry for that.
No problem, man. I just asking around, I'm just asking around for everyone, for each one of you, just to be, just to see how have you been since the last time. But now I'd like to start by this topic. Guys, honestly, let me change a little bit because this first one is not to be so good, but IELTS speaking test or IELTS speaking part three. Do you think it's better to rent or to buy a place to live in? Yesterday, we got a conversation about that, and each one of you who were here yesterday, answered me that question. But now I'd like to go on about this topic. So the second one is how easy is to find a place to live in your country. Let's suppose that I'm traveling or I'm moving to your country and I'm looking for a new place to live in. So I'd like you to ask about it. So how easy it to be to me find a place to live at your country, Rajesh? It's your turn.
Uh, well, actually, my country is very small because for the huge population and their actually the living place is very small and you know that it's a very densely area in my country. So uh, actually the in my cities, people like to live the flat apartment, and very few people there have a own land and own flat, own residence, and most of the peoples in my country, the cities, the living the rented flat. Besides the village area, a lot of people live their own house, and they don't any rent from anyone. So it's very easy to find any flat or any apartment in the cities area. And of course, that the your flat is the very decorated, and most of the people likes this flat. That's it.
Nice, nice. So it would be not so hard. It's not so difficult to find a place to live in. Maybe I just would like to, maybe I need to live or I would need to live at a flat, like you said, but it would be not difficult. Maybe it's so easy to find a place to live in Bangladesh. And
Hello.
let me know about you,
Hi.
Magdalena. how easy it to be, or how easy it to be for me if I'm moving to your country to find a place to live in?
Okay, so I mean that it is quite easy. I don't know exactly. For me, it is easy, of course. It is definitely my topic because recently I changed my flat. So
It was hard to find a new one. How was the process to find a new place to live in as you just moving? So you have an own experience now.
I just search on the internet something advice about renting flat because I don't have my own flat. I renting. So it is not hard in a big city. I mean, for example, Warsaw is capital of Poland, or another big city. Maybe it is little problem in the smaller city, but not too much. I think. It is easy because a lot of people have not only one flat, maybe for more flats, and they wanted to renting for another people because it is good business in my country.
Yeah, yeah. And to be honest, all over the world, in the United States, they call the real estate. Yes, it's called real estate. The name the person that works and living by selling, by renting, or by construction houses, and it's a profitable. It's so profitable negotiation. It's so profitable work to do in the United States. People have earning a lot of money working this area. I agree with you. Now, the next one I'd like to know about you, Ralph. Ralph, would like to introduce yourself because I believe that Madalena didn't know you until now because Madalena was traveling by work, so that's why doesn't come with us the last meetings, but now she's back, and I'd like to introduce yourself from her and tell her your name, where you living, if you are married, and how long you have been studying English. Tell her, please.
Hello, I am Raouf. I am 29 years old. I live now in Qatar. My home country is Algeria in the North Africa. I have been studying English for maybe 5 years or 7 years, but I don't use it.
Yeah, 5 years, but you didn't use until right now, until we started with us. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's very interesting. So no, we have Ralph. Ralph is from Qatar now, Madalena. So he is a new English partner from our English speaking season.
Okay, nice to meet you. Maybe I should to introduce also.
Yes, go
so
ahead.
so I am Magda. I'm from Poland. I will have 22 years old on the December. And actually, I am nursing student, and I live in Lublin, in this city, big city in Poland, and I'm studying English since around 1 year for serious, but I also have English at school. So that's all, I think.
Guys, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed about your English, Ralph and Magda, because you told me it's not so far that you started to study. No, has no long time. You started from 1 year. To be honest, 1 year. Since then, you have been improving a lot because you both have a good English understanding. So 1 year from you give you almost 4 years for me because to be honest, I'm almost 5 years. I have been studying English for 5 years until now. To be honest, I'm almost 5 years, and my English is at this level that you are seeing, that you are here now, and you guys have almost the same level than me, but you just spend at least 1 year. So that is impressive. That is impressive. So congratulations for you both. So, guys, now I'd like to know about Charming. Charming, do you agree? Now it's a question, but it's how can I say? It's a difficult. I should say that it's quite difficult to answer, but let's try the third one here. Do you agree that there is a right age for young adults to stop living with their parents? What do you think about that? As we are talking about houses, living in places, do you think that there is a right age for younger adults leave their parents' house?
Actually, yes, I agree with that. I think it's quite important thing for younger children or younger or adult to stop living with their parents, because when they are living with their parents, it's like they totally dependent on their parents. But whenever they are going to face their future problems, so it quite hard for them to manage all the difficulties in future. So I think when they are young or adults, if they are stop living with their parents, they should learn more things for their living and for their future plan. So it will be very easy for them to manage their difficulties in future. But when they are living with their parents, actually all the parents try to make absorb some difficulties and some problems for their myself for their self, that to comfort their children. But when they are stop living with their parents, yes, they can't to help with that. And that's the key of actually we can say that when we are facing some problems, then we can find we try to find a way to solve this problem. And whenever we didn't facing any problem, we didn't know how to face all the problems and overcome all the situation. So when we are facing some problem, then it make us to solve those problems. And whenever we are living with our parents, then we can ignore it, that like parents are here, they will compromise their all of the things for our comfortness. So when we are stop living with them, then we have to make it clear that we have to do something for our living, for our future. And that is actually improvement for a human being to know their abilities, how can they expand their abilities, or expand their ideas to get more information and more activities which can help us, which can help them to lead a beautiful life and create a beautiful future for them. So it's very common thing. And almost very in various countries, it's obviously happened that they didn't living with their parents. But in our country also it's bad, because in our country most of the children and adults, it's not adults like our age in the 23, 24, 7, since then, and they are stop living with their parents. And it's, I think it's quite difficult for them to challenge to meet their challenges in the future. So in our country, it's very, I think it's very bad thing for us, because we didn't know how to survive with future in at younger age, because we didn't stop living with our parents. So I think that most of the countries, younger children and adults stop living with their parents, and they are more productive and more active in their future activities. But we didn't know at our younger age. And when we are spend of our life, measures of life, time of our life, then we know that we have to do something serious. And it's like our most of the time is going on to improving ourselves and to understand what
It's a
we
big
have to
change.
do in future. Yeah,
Yeah,
so we have
it's a
to
big change
do.
for their lives.
Yeah, and when it's come to end of the age 23, 24, it's very difficult to challenge our other activities. But when we are starting from our younger age and adult age, then it's quite easy because we know how to survive with the other things in our country, in our society. So it's going easy for everyone when they are stop living with their parents. I think that's the way is good
Yeah.
for everyone.
Yeah, thank you
So
for
that's all.
this. Thank you for this answering. So for your answer, but of course, depend on each situation. It's not an universal opinion here because we are just telling you guys we are just sharing our own opinion about this topic. But I know a lot of people who is still living with their parents until today. They are more than 40, 25, 26 years, but they are doing some stuff. They are studying. They are making for instance, they PhD, they are making some things, so they needed to stay with their parents because they are finished their college degree, their specialization in some areas. For instance, medicine. So when we're talking about a doctor needs much more time than other bachelor's degree because doctors study at least 10 years, 9 years because they needed to made a lot of other courses or complementation studies and complementary studies. And that's why I'm here, guys, because as you notice, our main topic here is practice speaking skills. So I gonna bring a lot of talks like that. And don't be afraid to answer, don't be afraid to give your own opinion, as here is the right place to do it. Thank you, Charming, for that. And now I'd like to hear about you, Ralph. Ralph, tell me a little bit about if you agree. Do you agree with Charmin said? Do you agree with this question here? That there is right age from young people, young children, or young adults live in their parents' house. What do you think about this topic?
I think the children must stop living with her parents when he got work and the wedding.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, when they started get their own money, when they start earning their own money by working, when they finish their school, when they get the first job, maybe it will be the right time, the certain time, the right time to start living by themselves. Of course, that is the normal process. I don't know. And how about you, Magdalena? Tell us now. I don't know if you were living with your parents because you were a younger woman. So I'd like to know about your opinion on this topic. Do you believe that there is a right age to young adults like you, for instance, live in your parents' house? I'm curious to know your opinion about that.
In general, I think that in Poland, it is popular than uh, younger young adults move for parents, especially if they lived in village, because in village we don't have any opportunities to continue our studying. So, for example, me, I live to more big city for studying, and also, for example, my brother. Actually, he is a doctor, but he had to living for parents to also another big city in Poland if you wanted to be a doctor. And it is especially popular when children from village wanted to would want to continue studying at the university. So I think it is good plan if you want to have a special degree, but also a lot of people staying in parents' house. For example, I noticed that for example, I noticed that ID specialists, because they are working online, and this is comfortable for them to staying in parents' house, because then they don't have renting for flats, and it is comfortable because parents help them for living, and they can work at house, and they also have many friends for relays, so it is comfortable. And also, I don't know exactly how situation in the city, but I noticed that it is different. Some young people in my age, I mean, move for owner flats, apartment, but some people stay in parents' house because it depends for money. I noticed. If you have money, you can do it, but if you don't have, it is better for you to stay in parents' house and some earn more money for living.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree more. I know exactly what you want to mean. It's quite difficult because everything today, as you just said, is related to money. And when we are starting our own life, when we are starting our adult life, we needed to build a good beginning, a good relation, a good start along our life, which means have our own place to live in, but have our own money, have our own job, have our we must to feel stable. We must to feel at the right time. It's quite difficult, but everything on our lives at the beginning is not so easy. But after a while, we get started. We got go on, and things go on, and we how can I say, we get accustomed. We accustomed with this topic, this new way of life, and everything's go on. But it's not so easy. We must to be patient with our younger adults, because if they are studying, I'm totally agree that if they needed to spend more time with my house, for instance, I have one daughter. She's 12 years old now, and I have one son. He is almost 8 years old, and I'm thinking with my wife, I think by myself, her sometimes, that if they both were studying, I have no pressure. I go not to pressure to them live at my house, to leave our house. If they needed to stay with me, since they are studying, no problem. If they are maybe their bachelor's degree, their specialization, no problem. I gonna help it because I didn't have that help at some years ago when I was that younger person. Now I'm 32, so I'm not so younger. But when I was younger, I had no this opportunity, which means my parents was not so rich. My parents, to be honest, we are a poor family, and I had to start to working early, start doing my money. Not I couldn't continue. I couldn't keep on my bachelor's degree at that time. But of course, after a while, after here in Brazil, we had this opportunity. I don't know how about your country, but in Brazil, I finished my high school, and when I finished my high school, I just went out to work. I went to work. I found jobs to earn a little bit money to help my mother, to help my family. And after a while, after some years, I decided to get back to the school, to the university, and start to study again. And now, of course, I have a technical degree, of course, but and I just got started last month my bachelor's degree in electrical engineer, and I'm studying again. So here in Brazil, we had this opportunity to study again, to get back to the school, to get back to the university, even if you already adult. So, and if you, I'd like just to leave this message here. If people, if these young children or these young adults, sorry, they are studying, they are trying to have a better future, We need to support them. We must to support them. They need our support. And if we have this opportunity, why not? Why help them to ask them to stay with us to study? That is normal. I don't know exactly, but that's what I think. Thank you for sharing that with me. And David, welcome to this English speaking session. How have you been, guy? Oh, David left. I don't know. Maybe he lost a connection. And okay, the next question, it's gonna be for you, Rajesh. Rajesh, it's your turn. Uh, Moving on, but of course, staying the same topic. What options are available to young couples looking for an accommodation in your country? I don't know. There are a lot of difference between our countries, between our cultures, and of course, there are some countries, or there is some countries that we people start get married early, early, which means sometimes 20 years old, 22 years old, they must be married. But after that, or before that, to be honest, they need to have a place to live in. And when you talk about couples, it's quite difficult. Is it quite difficult to find a place to live in Bangladesh? How is the life for young couples? It's your turn, Rajesh. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Alex. It's very good question. My country, in my country, the young people's are main desire accommodation is whenever they complete their graduation, they are looking for the job, and that's the main things for the young generation in the country. And after completed their graduation, they don't get any good opportunities for the studies. And in my country is is a very good job, the government job, and a good private job is the very essential things in my country for the young generation. And that's why from the beginning, from the beginning, they just thought that whenever they completed their graduation, then we'll get the desired job. So that's the main things for young people in my country. That's it.
Oh, that's interesting. And now, guys, let's move on for the next topic before I ask you to the next colleague here, the next partner. Now, I would like to talk about. Let me choose here this topic. Here, what qualities are required to become a company leader or CEO or manager? Now, I would like to move on a little bit for the business topics. So we know that there are a lot of interesting person all over the world that today is CEO and maybe is owner on their own company. So I'd like to know what different qualities these guys or these people have that we don't have yet. But if we could notice what type of qualities these persons have to be a CEO, maybe we can get success in our life. So I'd like to give an example. For instance, Elon Musk. Have you ever heard about Elon Musk? Now, Elon Musk is an CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, Twitter, and others companies. So he's a huge example. But of course, we had Steve Jobs for a long time. We have Bill Gates from another Windows from Microsoft and things like that. And now I'd like to know about you. What type of qualities do you think that these guys need to have to leader these companies, these huge companies? And which quality in general, do you wanna have? Do you wanna have as they have? So now it's your turn. Xavier, would you like to answer?
Sorry, Alex. Unfortunately, I cannot hear your question.
Okay, no problem. I gonna answer. I gonna ask you again. I'm gonna repeat. So, what qualities
Yes.
are required to become a company leader? For instance, an CEO or a manager. What qualities do people need to have, needed to show to be a leader or to be a CEO? What do you think about it? Did you get
Actually,
it?
I have no idea this question. I have no idea of our of companies, but I would like to say that our country purpose there are so many company recently development and recently developed such as fund companies. If you if you like to about the fund companies, you search only googles, you can search only googles and you know about a fund company. But I would like to say fund company is more development recently here, and there are so many marketing development, and they can easily marketing manager is he has a so knowledge because I know that, and my uncle job in my front company, and he recently he promotion in he has a manager in marketing line, and every day he lead so many employer, and I think about it's about 15 or 60 people, 50 or 60 people, if it's 50 or 60 employer he lead, and every day he collected how can I say that, every day he collected his own perspective, and uh, sorry Alex, I cannot
No problem. No problem.
accurate question. I
Let
cannot
me
provide
change.
accurate question.
Yes, let me change a little bit the topic, guys. Let me change a little bit the topic because maybe it's quite difficult someone else. But let me try here about that. Describe a crowd place you have been. So you should say when you went there, where the place is, and who you went there with, and explain how you felt about the place. So now we're going to talk about places that we visited, and I would like to hear your answer about these questions here. So describe
Yes.
a place you have been, and you should answer these three questions here, and finish it with explaining how did you feel about. It's your
Who
turn.
is my turn?
Yeah. Go ahead. Answer to me. Describe a crowd place, which means a place we had a lot of people on the same place. For instance, a concert, a big event, or things like that.
Yeah, I got it. The places who you went there. Yeah, I would like to say that so many crowded in this place, and this place has a concert, and we are going there because my favorite singer come there. My favorite singer came there, and so we are so exciting, and we are going to hear because he is this singer, he is many so many helpful person, and his voice is so exciting, and his voice is so beautiful, and how can it's streaking, and every day I try to hear her song, and so I am so excited I when I spend face to face and I hear live concert, and there are so many younger people crowded, and I think every younger people favorite him. And this singer name is Zunaidiban, and he came recently our district, and there are this event so very this event arranged our country mayor, and mayor means chairman. How can I say that? And there and this with my friend, this concert I spent a lot of time, and about 2 hours or 3 hours we are so enjoying. And he he is a famous singer in our whole countries. And every time he has a spend lot of people, he has a spend his concert lot of people with lot of people. And I think he spend every district of our countries. And that's it.
Nice. Thank you so much for that answer. Now I'd like to start with this new topic here, guys. Let's change a little bit. I don't like to have so heavy class, so have English conversation. I know that there's some difficult for someone else here, but of course there are a lot of people who have the same, who has not so difficult to answer, but each one of us is different from each other. So now I'd like to start by this English topic. I already had topic before, but I believe that it's gonna be awesome to start again by this question here. First of all, it's gonna be for you, Magdalena. Magdalena, answer to me the first question about your learner, your students, about this topic. Questions to learn about your students' experiences. What is something you have tried in the past but you would never do again?
Um, I have to thinking.
No problem.
It means about my student life, yes?
Yes, your student experience, maybe something that you notice that you lost your time, it was total lost time, but or something that you notice that it's not the right way, the right path to follow. I don't know. Or maybe your nurse school, maybe your English studies, maybe your high school. I don't know. Everything that you want to share here, just to practice.
So maybe once, because in general sometimes I like to feel a little adrenaline, and when I don't have too much money and when I have to go to my university by bus, I should to buy bought a ticket, but I don't have money for this because I don't remember. And I many times I traveled without ticket if I want to be honest. So I didn't buy this. And this day I met a person who checking these tickets. I don't know exactly what is the name of profession in English, but and he asked me about do you have tickets, and I don't have, but I have very lucky of these days because this light of this bus when I every day on very often traveled to my university is very have a lot of people very a lot, and I can something go left of the bars between these people. So it was definitely my lucky day, but I have never tried this again because it doesn't worth it.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine it. So that was awkward. And but unfortunately, or not fortunately, you have this healthy and everything did well, but it could not be as you imagine it. So you are right. You're right. You never should try this again. And now it's the second question for you, Rajesh. Share one of your favorite childhood memories here with us. Let us know a little bit of your childhood.
Oh, thank you, Alex. It's a very good question and a very interesting question for me. Whenever I was 14, my school arranged a picnic program, and me and my 700 students went to the picnic, and we had a lot of fun together. My friend, my childhood friend, we grown up there, and we went to the a hill tracks area. It's a very big hill tracks area. I think you could not understand the hill tracks area name, but I want to say the Bengali names. The hill tracks name is Gajni, and it's too far from my city. We went there and a lot of fun together. I can remember that. I tried to trekking the whole hill treks area, but due to my some of friend demotivated to me, they requesting to me, Rajesh, after some months later we are going to sit our final exam, so we should not cross the whole hill treks area. But I was so confident about myself from the beginning. I was imagine that I have to cross the whole hill treks area, but due to my some of my friends demotivated issue, I cannot complete it. But I was ready. I was trying to visit the whole picnic spot area by the horse riding, and and the boat riding, and it was a great memory in my school life. And whenever we do arrange any reunion in my school, any program, then we everybody remember it. It's very pleasantly, because we are the 2004 batches students, and this is the biggest program. It was the biggest program in in my school, and my all teachers, whenever we arrange any reunion program, then our teachers are mentioned that the 2000 base students were very good, very polite, and very attentive their studies and their any kind of works. That's it. And this my little bit good childhood memories. I have a lot of memories, and whenever I remember these memories, then I feel so good. That's it.
Nice, nice. Let me ask you here. I don't know if I got exactly what you want to mean, but can you try explain again? How was that place? Because I don't know if I got, but you were at your childhood and you have to pass through a certain place. I don't know exactly which place is there. Which place was that?
Actually, the place was there. Sherpur Jila, and it's the border of area of India. I think you have much about the India, and it's the border side area. And I want to share with you. It's my curiosity, because the first time I went there, and my curiosity was I have to cross the border area. But all the teachers and my friends are requesting to me to don't cross the border line, and also there are police and guards are demotivated to me to don't cross the border. I know that's very simple. If I had crossed the border area, nobody will punish to me, but it was it's rules. Without passport and visa, a person cannot cross any country border area.
Yeah.
It's a very we should not do that. That's it. I
But
was a child.
how age? How old are you? Were you at that
Oh,
time?
so I told you the 14.
14.
Yes,
Oh
14.
man. Oh, let me ask you her. You were crazy at that time because if you do it, I don't know exactly, but if her as you like you said her, if you try to do something without a passport or without visa, it would be dangerous. Can be dangerous, isn't it?
I know that, and Alex, I want to say about myself, I am an adventurous guy. So whenever I think any kind of adventurous, any kind of difficulties, any kind of things, then I try to do it. And this is my curiosity. This is my adventure. And some of them sometimes bother with me. Rajesh, you are very adventurous, motivated people. We could not go with you, but my cousin and my two friends are so adventurous like me. Whenever I do arrange any adventurous program, then I ask my all friends. Then I offered by indicated friends, and they are very curiosity minded, adventurous minded, and then I just call to them. Actually, I want to mention you that I like to go to any seaport area and the sea. And this is my another curiosity place. And last 3 months ago, I went to the San Martin Island. And if you try in the YouTube and the Facebook, you'll see the how beautiful city in my San Martin Island. Its memory I want to share with you in very short times. Last 3 years ago, went to the San Martin Island, and we stayed there 3 days and 3 nights. And I just meet their fishermen. I just offered them, I want to go with you, and I know that you do the fishing 3 or 4 days. I want to stay with you in the middle of the sea. And they just demoted to me. The place is so dangerous. If any kind of storm, then the boat can sink, and you're gonna just die. Our life is too much difficult, but you are the student, and your family is educated family, and your family is good family. But we are the fishermen. Our family is not rich as like you. They tried to motivate it to me, but I was so curious, and I just went with them, and I stayed in the sea the 2 nights, and I have get a lot of I get a lot of experience. How's the fisherman life, and how was the threatened in the stormy sea area, and I get a lot of experience. I get a lot of feelings. That's it.
Well,
It's
that was very interesting. Of course, a little bit dangerous, but you are
yes, of
here.
course, the
Yeah.
sea was too dangerous. I want to share with you when we went to the mid sea area. Suddenly, stormy weather was creating, and my two friends also threatened with me, and they are requesting to the peoples, please back to their area. But it was too much difficult. But after sometimes the sea area just gonna cool, and we move freely. That's it.
Okay. Okay. You did, man. You did. Now it's your turn, Ralph. Ralph, let me know a little bit about this topic. Number three, what purchase you have made for less than $100 that have the most positive impact on your life? Let me know a little bit about it. Have you ever bought something below $100 for less than $100 that's made a positively impacted on your life?
Sorry, Alex, I don't understand.
Okay, the question number three. What purchase you have made that costs you less than $100 and that's thing that you plotted has the most positively impacting your life? So, well, let me know if you already bought something for less than $100, $100 that made a
Yes,
positive impact in our life.
yes, I bought power bank.
Which was?
Power bank for charging my phone.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Less than $100?
less than $100. Yes,
Okay. And why? Why did the help or has the most positive impact in our life?
because my phone my battery my phone battery is not.
Oh, okay. Okay. Very good. What is it called? How is it called? The thing that you bought it? Could you repeat?
Power bank.
Power bank. Okay. It's something to help your cell phone stay charged. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Nice. Oh, nice, nice. Oh, that's cool. How much does it cost?
Maybe $20. 20.
$20.
Yes.
Nice, nice. And maybe a positive impact in your life. Okay, that's it. Thank you for sharing. Now, guys, I'd like you, Magdalena, ask me one of this question here. Choose one of this question and ask me.
Okay, so I will choose. Mm, hmm. Okay, maybe number 7. When you feel overwhelmed or stressed, what do you do? I think that I can describe my profession a little, because in general I felt a lot of stress sometimes at hospital, especially because I am still student and sometimes I do something things in my first time. And I remember one situation when I have to make resuscitation at hospital, and it was for me very extreme, um, and I feel a lot of emotion when I have to do it, and because it's my first time. But this situation, it was um, it was it finished quite good because it was successful resuscitation. But it was especially stressful for me because I was be in another room. It's in ward of hospital. I connect a drip for another patient, and when I close this room, I see a lot of people who running, and I don't know what happened. But finally, we called to rescue team, and they went to our ward at hospital. They was really helpful for us, and I also was feel so glad that I can try to do it this, and I was also so glad that it was be successful resuscitation.
Yeah. Oh, I should say some things about that because I don't know, but I already told you. I don't know if you remember. Part of my job relates to first aid or for um, paramedical stuffs. You know, I must do it. I'm a civil firefighter, which is called as firefighter, but I'm not work for the government. I work for companies or private companies, and I made 1 year of trainment. I got 1 year of trainment about save lives, about resuscitations, about first aid in general. I don't know exactly in English how can I express, but I know exactly what you want to mean, and I got you. It's quite difficult to make a resuscitation process or to try make a resuscitation process because people at that time, these people or this person is dying, or to be honest, they already died. They already is died because if they had no heart beating, if they had no breathing, that means that the vital signs does not exist anymore. So if there is not exist anymore, we are trying resuscitating, which means they are die and we try get back their lives. So that is means that's why it's called resuscitation. And people, some people which doesn't work on hospitals or with first aid or people or person, they have no idea how anxious can be, how how precious the people who work with that feeling or have been facing every day. So honestly, I already told you, I don't know if it will be to me work at hospitals because it's not it's quite hard. People lost their lives every minute, every day. People get their injured, maybe without a harm, without a leg, maybe with some a lot of blood pressure, with maybe lost their blooding, and you should do something. You were the person that they are looking for help them, so you should help them. And sometimes, of course, you're gonna do your best to help that person. You're gonna try do your best, but even doing that, sometimes it's not be possible. Will not be possible to help them. And I'm glad to hear that you had a successful resuscitation. That resuscitation was successful, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes isn't successful, and we must deal with that. And anxious and precious and stress, it will be part of your life. I hope you deal with that. I hope you're gonna deal with that in the best way as possible. But don't feel sad about it, because yesterday I watched a movie when people it was related to guard coast of Marine, the United States, and they work Alaska. They work in Alaska, and they have been made some savements. They have been save people from the oceans, from the boats that turn a boat. And one of things that they said, one phrase that they said, I thought very interesting. Another guy asked it to this the first or the main actor on this movie. Another guy asked him, how many people, how many people he already saved, he had saved on his career, and he answered, he has 20 years of that career, and they his answer was 25. And another guy and looked at him and said, "Oh, okay, that is not 300, but it's a good." Then the guy answered, 25 was the number of people that I couldn't save. That is the only people that we counted, that we accounted. How many people but if you look in this phrase, this means that sometimes you could not do anything. It's not your fault, but you should think it. You should try thinking and focus your mind. And how many people do you save it? How many people do you made it successfully? Do you know? So you this guy that you help at that time, it to be to the good account. You must put this guy on a good account. This guy um, made everything that you passed worth. That means everything that you passed is gonna be good because you could save it. This guy, of course, sometimes maybe you wouldn't have the same results, but that's okay. That's part of the job. You choose it. You choose it this job, so you are aware. You already aware about the dangers, about the difficulties that this job it's gonna bring you to your life. But I know exactly what you said. I got you. I understand the stress situation. Understand because I already passed some situations like that. I already helped people. I already had the opportunity to help childrens. It to be not so children. It's the bad. I believe it's the worst part of the medical assistance is help children because we are not ready. At least at my case, at least on my case, I'm not so. If I had the opportunity to choose, if I'm gonna work with children, pediatric situations, or if I gonna work with adults, of course I gonna choose work with adults because My heart is not ready for take care from children. I love children, but I don't know if I gonna be ready for work in this area. But congratulations! I already told you, Magdalena. I love your career that you choose. It's one of the beautiful career. Your brother, you told me that your brother is a doctor, all right?
Yes, exactly.
Now that's very good. I love this career. This career is a very inspiration. It's a very inspiration that people have been choosing these jobs because, as I told you, it's not a quiet one. I know that these guys earn a lot of money. I know that doctor and nurses earn a lot of money. They told, she's a doctor or she's a nurse. Oh, she has a lot of money because she work as a nurse, she work as a doctor, but they have no idea how difficult it is to earn this money. But as I told you, it's a way of life. It's a choose that these personals did or choose it, and we must to respect. And of course, we just hope that every people that work in this area love what they're gonna do, and I hope you love what you're gonna do as well, because when you do it, it'll be easy for you. And now I'd like to ask you the last question, but not least, of course, the last question for this English speaking session, guys, because we are more than 1 hour here. I'd like to ask you, let me do, sorry, I'd like to you choose one question to me because I didn't answer any question yet. That is the worst part to leading this English meeting because I just asked a question for you, but I didn't answer any of them. Now I'd like you asking me some question. Rajesh, choose one question to me.
9.
Go ahead. Could you ask me out loud?
What was the what was the worst job you have ever had?
Nice, nice. What was the worst job you have ever had? So the worst job, I should say, let me remember. I already worked for the army in Brazil because when you get 18 years old, when you almost get 18 years old, you should, every man should went to the army to present yourself to the army and to see if they gonna serve it at the armed forces here in Brazil. So, and I went there and I served it. I served it for 1 year. But I do not should say that it was the
You
worst
were attend
because,
Alex, you were attended army of Brazil.
yeah, I went to the army in Brazil when I was 18 years
That's
old.
so
And
interesting.
yes, I stayed there for 1 year, just 1 year. I stayed from my 18 to my 19 years old. I left the army when I was 19 years old.
I
And
think
after, go ahead.
I think I think this job is so difficult for you. That's why you forget this job.
Oh, to be honest, it was hard, of course,
Yeah, yeah.
but
What
when you
what
are younger,
happened when you what's happened when you get a job?
sorry, what did you say?
What was the happen when you get a job? That's why you forget this job.
Yeah, maybe, but I should not say. I would not say that serving the arm was the difficult or the worst, because it was the difficult. I should say that it was difficult, but not the worst. The worst job that I got was when I lived the arm, and at that time I had no career. I had no courses. I didn't know what I should do at that time because when you live at the arm, you must to get back to the school to study again to finish what you're gonna do. And at that time, I had nothing to do, so I got a job from a company. I don't know. I don't know. I should say, but I worked at least 2 months, just 2 months at that time. I got a job which was work at a company which made bottom. Do you know bottom? Bottom is from your bottom from your skirt, bottom from your your shirt, button from your sweats, and everything that you wear that has button to close, to close your skirts, to close your shirt, and things like that. And I got a job on a company like this, and I work for this maintenance sector, maintenance seasons. But I had no idea what I had to do at the time. I'd never worked at maintenance sector, and that to me was the worst job because I just stayed there for less than 2 months, and I asked it to leave it, and I asked it to they fire me out, fire me at this company. And at that time, to me, that was the worst job. But since then, I have been working a lot of things, and work like operate a machine. I work like a forklift. I don't know if you know what is forklift. I work it as a forklift operator. I work at heights, and I work as civil firefighter. I'm working as occupational safety technician now from 10 years, and 11 years to be honest. I'm working. I already told you guys, but today
So
I'm working at Shopee Express. Do you know Shopee?
I think you when spend this time and you learn more and more. I
Yeah,
think that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I agree with you. Everything that happened in our life, even worse things, can brings a lot of knowledge for our life. So we learn
Yeah.
with our mistakes. We learn with the bad things, and I agree with you.
Yeah. Same. Our country's army occupation is army occupation is like this your countries, and every when younger people attend this army job, and every younger people is going to bring a become a so activity person, and they are try to learn more and more, and their authorities, I mean their officer or their mentors, army mentors, learning more and more things. And I think they get so many experience, and they bring a lot of things. And I I I cannot compare with general person. I cannot compare with general person to army, because army is so army is so respectful person. I think that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
how
Guys,
was this time? I think
go ahead.
Alex,
Go ahead.
why you forget this job,
I
army
don't.
job?
Yeah, I must to do it because here Brazil is obligation for every 80 years old man. 80 years old man must to went to the army to present yourself or to show yourself to the army, to the army's officer,
Like
and
like if,
and just a second,
if
and they gonna choose you. They gonna decide that if you're gonna enter in the arm or not. They can deny your application, but you must to present, you must to do, because it's an obligation, it's a law here in Brazil. Every man must to present himself to the arm as completed 18 years old.
oh yeah, I got it. It's like USA USA system same to your country. I think that
Yeah,
US or Korea like Korea, South Korea. Wait.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it and the United States how the army works, because I know that a lot of people is voluntary. People present themselves voluntary to serve the army at the United States. But Brazil is not voluntary; is more like an obligation, and you must stay there at least for 1 year. When you are obligated to serve the army, they will just leave you. They will just allow to leave the army after 1 year of serving there. So it's an obligation. And I
Oh
did.
yeah.
I made my 1 year application and I left. And after that, I have been working on a lot of things. But now my career is occupation safety technician. And I don't know if you know, but as I told you some minutes before, I just got started my bachelor's degree in electrical engineer, and I must still try. After I finish my electrical engineer, my plans is to make a bachelor's degree. I made to a specialization in occupational safety health engineer. You know, there's another course that when you finish your bachelor's degree, you have to do, or you can choose do another course that is gonna, it's like a PhD in occupational safety situation. So I'm gonna make my bachelor's degree, and I'm gonna finish as engineer, HSE, health safety environment engineer.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's helpful for your career. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's
guys.
like 50. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, sorry,
It's
guys. I'd like to keep this English speaking session, but unfortunately, we had no more time for today. I know that I made a lot of conversation here. I talked a lot. Sorry for that, but I hope you enjoyed this English meeting. I hope you had the opportunity to practice your own English speaking, because that is our main point here. Everyone has your own time to express, to try saying things, to try express your English skills. And Ralph, I'd like to know about you. Ralph is one of the newest member here. I'd like to know, Ralph, what do you think? How have you been to be here with us at our English speaking sessions? Did you felt improvement? Did you feel some improvement? Are you like it? Do you like this English speaking session? I'd like to know about you. What do you think about our English speaking conversations?
Yes, I feel better. I feel better.
Yeah, because I'd like to know, because as you told me, you have not opportunity to speak, and since you started our English speaking session, you have been studying for more than 5 years, but now effectively you have been practicing English just with us. So that's why I'm asking you. That's why I'd like to know your opinion about this English meeting. I hope you have been improving your English, but as I told you guys, English takes time. It's day by day. You needed to speak a little bit today, tomorrow a little bit more, and so on. So I believe one day you're gonna have a good English skills, a good English speaking skills. And but just be patient with yourself. Just be patient with others, because our English speaking session is here to help improve our speaking skills. Of course, sometimes we're gonna read it, but the majority of time it's going to be by speaking. It's just expressing yourself as we did today. Okay,
Okay.
so thank you so much, guys, to being here with me. I just would like to ask you again to open your camera. After we finish here, I'm gonna ask you to open your camera. But for now, I would like to finish this English meeting for people who are watching us on the YouTube channel. And guys, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you here at our YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed at this YouTube channel, please ask it now. Is my asking now is to subscribe to this YouTube channel, to share this link for other ones maybe are looking to ways to improve their English. As you noted, this was an English speaking club that everyone has their own opportunity to practice. So we have people from Poland, from Bangladesh, from Qatar, from China, from Pakistan, from Cambodia, and me from Brazil as well. So there are people from all over the world who are trying learn English by themselves. And as you saw, as you noted, it's totally possible. So don't forget to subscribe, and see you on next English speaking session for you on the YouTube channel. Thank you.